The prostitute girl of Nsum village. In the quiet village of Nsum, where the moonlight danced on the rooftops and the river sang sweet songs at night, there was a girl named Efua. Everyone in the village knew her, but not for good reasons. She was the girl who sold her body to men. Many whispered when she passed by. Mothers told their daughters never to walk like her. Fathers warned their sons never to look at her. But Efua did not care. She laughed at them and continued living her life. One day, an old man visited Nsum. His beard was white like the clouds, and his eyes held deep wisdom. He sat under the big baobab tree in the center of the village and listened to people's troubles. One by one, villagers came to him. But when Efua walked toward him, the people gasped. Some even spat on the ground. "Why do you come here, Efua?" a woman shouted. "Do you think this wise man will listen to someone like you?" But the old man raised his hand for silence. "Let her speak," he said gently. Efua knelt before him. Her eyes, always bold and full of pride, now held sadness. "I am tired," she whispered. "I want to change, but I don't know how. Every door is closed to me. Every heart is shut. Even if I live this life, who will accept me?" The old man smiled and reached into his bag. He pulled out a small, dirty stone. "Do you see this?" he asked. Efua nodded. The old man walked to the river, washed the stone, and held it up. It was now smooth and shining. This stone was covered in dirt, but underneath, it was always precious. "So are you, Efua." Tears rolled down Efua's cheeks. "But what should I do?" she asked. "You must prove that your heart is clean," the old man said. "Find a way to help your village. Give kindness, even if they give you hate." From that day, Efua changed. She stopped her old ways and started helping people. She fetched water for the elderly. She took care of sick children. She swept the marketplace. But still, the villagers did not trust her. The day after Efua met the wise man, she sat by the river, thinking deeply. Memories of her past filled her mind. She remembered the first time she had been abandoned, the struggles she faced, and how she had to survive in a world that gave her no other options. She wept, but with each tear, she felt something inside her breaking free. The villagers continued to reject her, but Efua was determined. Every morning, she woke up early to clean the village square, and at night, she stayed by the sick, comforting them. At first, no one said a word to her. They watched, suspicious and doubtful. But then, a young girl named Abina fell terribly ill. The healer said she would not last the night. Efua did not hesitate. She gathered herbs from the forest and made a specialty she had learned about from an old woman long ago. She sat beside Abina, holding her hand and feeding her small sips. By dawn, Abina opened her eyes and smiled weakly. News spread quickly. Some began to question their hatred towards Efua. Others remained firm, believing she could never truly change. But Efua kept walking. Months passed. Efua built a small hut near the marketplace and turned it into a place for the homeless. She found lost children and gave them food. She helped farmers harvest their crops. Slowly, the villagers began to soften. One night, a great storm came. The river overflowed, and houses were washed away. Many people were trapped. Efua did not run. She rushed into the flood, saving old men, women, and children. She carried them to safety, one by one. By morning, the storm was gone, and so was Efua. Her body was found by the riverbank, her arms still wrapped around a little boy she had saved. The village wept. They built a statue of her by the river. And from that day, no one called her a prostitute. They called her Efua the brave, the girl who gave her life for the people who once rejected her. One evening, a wealthy merchant arrived in Nsum. He was looking for someone to run a new orphanage in the nearby town. The village chief, once one of Efua's harshest critics, stood up and said, "There is only one person fit for this job, Efua." Efua was shocked. "Me?" she asked. "Yes," the chief said. "You have shown more kindness than any of us. You deserve this chance." Tears filled her eyes. She had not only changed herself, she had changed the hearts of the people around her. For the first time in her life, Efua was embraced, not as a woman of shame, but as a woman of strength and kindness. And so, Efua left Nsum, not as the girl people whispered about, but as a leader, a savior, and a legend. Her name would be remembered forever. And so, the story of Efua teaches us, no matter what people call you, your actions will tell the true story of who you are.